Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about something that's very personal and very important to me, and that's the reason why I rap. I know I've gotten a few questions and comments about, what drew me to rapping in the first place and how long I've been rapping and obviously my reasons. So first and foremost, I'm just going to say that this is my, personal journey. These are my reasons. They're not in any way reflective of any other person's decision to rap or commentary about any other person and why they might be rapping. Obviously, I support head rapping no matter the reason, creed, faith, or, anything that might draw you to this particular practice. I'm also going to clarify that I do not rap for any particular religious reasons. I'm not religious, spiritual, not religious. And the rapping for me is sort of a complicated backstory, but it has nothing to do with any adherence to any spiritual faith. So of course, that's not for me, but that's not to say that, again, I'm casting any aspirations or making any commentary about anyone's religious faith or reasons for rapping. So with that out of the way, let me just start by saying I've been drawn to rapping for, 9 years. This all started, but I didn't actually start rapping seriously until about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So my collections knew my techniques and all the tricks that I've learned. I hope over the next little bit I can do videos that talk about the last year and things I wish I'd known a year ago and all that great stuff. But basically 9 years ago, I found myself working in the middle of the desert in the Middle East for school, for the archaeology program I was a part of at the time. And often, I started off with a baseball hat, realized not really the best for being in a desert and being covered, and switched to wearing a sort of white cotton, keffiyeh is the right term, but just think like a white cotton, really big square scarf. And was taught how to wrap this by some of the Bedouin we were working with in Jordan at the time. And I loved it. I loved having my hair wrapped for function at the time, and I totally ascribed to rapping for function and not at all rapping for anything beyond that. And when I left the desert, I stopped doing it and didn't really think two thoughts of it after the fact, besides wondering why maybe I'd enjoyed it so much when I was over there. So fast forward like 8 years later, also in school, I happened to meet this lovely, wonderful lady, Andrea, who turns out to be the founder of Rapunzel, which is the majority of the place that I got all of my scarves and the majority of what I use and what I rap with and the techniques and stuff that I learned a year ago all sort of stem from their YouTube channel. And that's not just because I'm crazy brand loyal, because of course I go elsewhere and shop elsewhere too, but more so that watching Andrea's journey and how she founded Rapunzel and her writing about head wrapping always made me very curious, and I was always keeping an eye out on it and reading about it, and it was always something in the back of my mind that I wondered why I was so drawn to it in the first place. I mean, besides the fact that this was a former school colleague that I was keeping up with via social media. And it wasn't until about 2 years ago when I moved across the country and also had not only stress happening, which was causing hormonal changes, but was also officially diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which at the time was causing absolute havoc with my hair. Since I've recovered, because I've done a few, one, got rid of some of that darn stress, and two, basically found some few different things that helped with my hair and my hair growth. But beyond that, I was financially stable for the first time in a while and was looking at all these awesome products that Rapunzel had, and living in a remote place was just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it a go. And basically bought my first Rapunzel order, which is on my head right now. My brown 2-in-1, my emerald shimmery, and the Wendy, which is the shaper I'm wearing. This pin's new, but that's fine. And did a wrap, left the house, felt amazing, felt beautiful for the first time in a really long time. And in the beginning, I was wrapping because it was a great way for me to hide my hair, because at the time, like I said, it wasn't doing the best. And it sort of morphed from there into, this thing that had been sitting in my heart for almost a decade, this sort of empowering practice that let me decide what I got to show the world and let me decide what was beautiful. And because of that, I basically jumped in both feet into the practice of wrapping your hair, and bought probably more scarves than I will ever need and own and continue to buy. And, really sort of from there also really upped and, learned more about makeup so I could kind of create this whole look for myself. And I don't wrap every day. It is only part-time for me. I do have my hair out quite often now as well. And I feel differently beautiful no matter what I'm wearing, whether it be my hair or a headscarf. But for me, it's really about empowerment, and it's also a bit feminist in the sense that, this is me choosing what I'm showing the world rather than what the world telling me, what society tells me is considered beautiful and considered standard. So it's all these sort of social justice warrior feminist ideals wrapped into what was a medical concern and sort of transformed into a way of life and transformed into something I really love. So for me, wrapping isn't just about, the functionality of having to get up in the morning and not worry about doing your hair, because I have really curly hair and sometimes it's just a hassle and sometimes you just want to put a scarf on it and leave the house and look great. But it's also because for me, it's a statement. It's a spiritual thing, and it reminds me that no matter what happens, no matter what the world throws at me, what health throws at me, I get to decide to be beautiful because I get to decide how I want to present myself to the world. So I hope that helped clarify some of the reasons why I wrap. I'm going to leave this as a pinned video on my channel, and if you are interested in videos like this or you want to read a little bit more, I've put a link to a blog post I did about this exact topic on Rapunzel's blog. And I probably won't do a lot more videos like this because, as I said, this is sort of a little off the cuff, sort of some personal realness about my reasons for head wrapping. But I will obviously be doing tutorials and makeup reviews and all that great stuff. So if you want to see more, you like what you're hearing, please press like and subscribe. And I look forward to continuing my journey with all of you. Ciao!